everybody. I am Bryan.
And I'm Bryan.
And this is Bryan versus Bryan, episode 105. Prey. And this is hard to remember what this movie's name is. I keep wanting to call it like Predator. Every time I think about it in my head. I think of Prey, I think of that damn video game from like the 360 era.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure they made a movie as well. I'm not 100% sure, but I thought they did.
That's funny. I have the opposite. I mean, it's not even spelled the same or mean the same, but every time I think of Prey, I think of we've got to pray just to make it today. That's why we pray. The fucking little MC Hammer people folks crying, out there.
People dying.
That's why we pray.
That's a good one. It's like the only other good song on that first album. That's why you know it.
Yeah, it's that and fucking Can't Touch This.
Yeah.
Well, I guess two legit.
There's three. There's three good ones. All right. So, Prey. 2022, July 21st. Oh, wait, United States, August 5th. My bad. Runtime 100 minutes. It's a trim 100 minutes.
Yeah.
It's pretty. It tells a good story within the 100 minutes. It's not it's always moving you towards where you want to be.
Yeah, definitely.
It felt good. And it's always, the whole focus is on this main character. What the heck is her name and the actor's name? Let's see. Amber Mid-Thunder. Is she really like native?
I guess so.
They weren't about to get choked by not having natives in this thing.
They get Scarlett Johansson.
Oh, hold on now. I know how this goes. We're not Spanish, not we got at least 25%. Okay?
Yeah.
Cherokee up in this.
Yeah, Scarlett Johansson didn't return their call, so they had to go with Amber Mid-Thunder.
Amber Mid-Thunder. Dakota Beavers. No, they got a real cast, dog. I'm reading this shit. This is real, dog. Stormy Kip. And the rest of them are just kind of normaler names. Those are probably the white guys.
Kyle Smith.
Yeah, those are probably the trappers. Distributed by Hulu in the United States. Disney Plus International. Isn't that weird? So this is on Disney Plus like everywhere else.
Oh, weird.
Huh. It was a little too dark for Disney Plus here in the United States. They're still starting to dip their toe into the rated R. So this has got to be rated R, right?
Yeah.
I don't think it's
pretty
rated
gory.
because it's not for theaters.
Does it say right there? I don't think it does. I think it says MA.
It just says like viewer discretion advised. It's like a television show. Mid-Thunder as Naru. Okay, Naru, a young Comanche warrior who protects her tribe against a predator. Well, so I like a lot about this. It starts off really cool. Gets this cool set in like 1790, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of really big, wide open shots that look really cool at the beginning, and I like the way the beginning started. And she sees that kind of thunder in the sky, and then we just pull up to Prey. That was kind of cool. I like a good intro card. You know what I mean? It's just, you do it well, and it's like you had to have one to be an iconic movie almost. Every like great movie has this cool way they introduce you to the name of the film.
Yeah,
and I like the way.
Yeah, I agree. They even pull it off with no dialogue. Like I think that starts with her getting kicked on the shoulder as she's sleeping, and she kind of like wakes up begrudgingly in the morning, and then she goes out into the forest to like gather berries and whatever food, and then she's kind of like throwing her axe around, and you kind of get a sense of like she's trying to be a hunter, or maybe she wants to be a hunter, and then then you see the ship. So like all of it's like no dialogue. Like I don't know, I like that.
And it's funny you said that. If there was like what is that called where it's not closed caption, but it's like the other one where it describes everything, or if you're like, could be closed caption. But I could just imagine that scene be like, gets up begrudgingly.
Oh yeah.
Dakota Beavers as Tabby. I don't remember how they said his name.
So the brother?
Yeah, Naru's brother. He was pretty badass. I liked him.
He was awesome.
That guy and his character were really cool.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like a badass hunter of the Comanches, and the girl, she does medicine. She's like Donatello. she does she does machines, which is which is plants back then and twigs
Yeah.
and stuff. uh, Nabu's cool but rude. Anyway,
Oh God.
uh, so and she always wants to be a hunter for some reason. Don't know why. She's got a
Ambition.
gender.
Yeah.
She's got a gender thing going on. It's like you're not allowed to do that when you're a girl back in the especially in the Indians. They got
Yeah.
specific roles, man. But and she has this axe, and you know her dad died somehow because there's this one scene she's just sharpening it up, and I think it's her grandmother is what I got the feel of. Says, you know, your father gave you that to cut bread or something like that, and she's like, I don't remember what she says, but something snarky like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, you know, something like that. Teenagers, but so she's always trying to prove herself. She wants to go on. What's that? What the heck is it called that they have the proving hunt, where you have to hunt something that's hunting you, regardless of what it's called. That's what it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
You have to be like one of their warriors. You have to hunt something that's hunting you. You know, like a cougar or a bear or something like that. Not like a rabbit or a jackalope. something
A
something
snake.
scary.
Yeah.
Yeah, something scary. So, and there's not much dialogue in this movie at all, really.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember parts where they talk, and it's few and far between, and it's not a lot said, um, which is pretty cool. And then they do the thing. People are like, oh, I wish it was all in Comanche. And I don't know. I kind of like it when they give you a little bit, so you know that's what they're speaking, but they kind of
Right.
switch them to English, so it's like so it's like it's translating.
Right.
Okay,
Right.
they are speaking it, but now we're switching to English. You know, they're speaking it, rather than do all the, I don't mind that. Some people think it's not authentic enough. I think it's authentic enough if you at least do some of it, which they did. And
Yeah, I didn't mind it. I mean, I thought about it. I was like, oh, maybe they should have done this whole thing, but I didn't like. It's not going to detract my like or hate for the movie. It was just kind of
yeah,
it popped in
and
my head. That was it.
and it's like when the white guys, the trappers, come up and she starts, and they're like speaking. I don't know what the fuck they're speaking, French or some
French,
shit.
yeah, French.
And he starts speaking English to her. You could tell that he's like speaking like Native American or something. You know what I mean? And she's understanding it. It's like, yes, I speak many languages.
Right, right.
This is your language I'm speaking, but it sounds like a different one to the audience. Yes. yes. But so really the movie starts. Well, let's see. I think before everything we have the ship. I don't like this that they show too much ship. I don't like ships in Predator. You know what I mean? Get
Yeah.
the ship out of here. I know he's an alien, goddammit. You don't got to prove it. All the new aliens are like, oh, look at the ship. Oh, man.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, it's cooler without the ship. There's no ship in Predator, okay? I don't need a fucking ship.
Yeah, luckily they showed it. Yeah, go.
Yeah,
sorry.
very, very little, but
Very
I want to
little, yeah.
imagine what the ship looks like.
Sure,
Because
sure.
the ship is always not as cool as what I thought it would be. So I was like, this one looks like the Nebuchadnezzar or some shit. It's like, what the fuck is this? Like a Neo on board or something.
Yeah, luckily they show a lot less than the sequel movies from like what was it, late 2000s? Like Predator Requiem or whatever.
Yeah, and then Predators.
Oh, right, the Predator. Yeah, Predators.
Predators. Well, it was Predators, and then they had the Predator.
And the Predator, yeah.
They're all shit.
Yeah, they're all really bad.
Fucking shit. Even all the Alien versus Predator movies, shit. Yep. And we'll get to where this one ranks in the shit later. What was I talking about? Yeah, very little of the shit, but still, I'm like, dude, just have them walk in the frame and just. That's it. That's all you need to do. At least they didn't show much, but I don't know why they have to beat it home that he's an alien. If you didn't know,
you forgot.
Yeah. So yeah, I know. And guess what? Arnold figured it out without having to see a goddamn ship. Okay? He beat him with nothing but mud and some sticks. Tony Stark made this out of scrap in a cave. So yeah, you see him show up, and let's get to the design. Well, they don't show him till much later, but let's get to the
Yeah.
design of the Predator. I wasn't a big fan of the design of this Predator. Um, I think they always try to make it so different. Every Predator, they got to like, oh, this one's got fucking reggae dreads now. He always
Right.
had
Right.
dreads, but the newer ones. This one's 10 feet tall. It's a fucking suit. This one kind of looks like the Super Predators from the newer ones,
Hmm.
but short.
Sure.
And he's got like a bone mask, but it's still like technical. It's still got the want some candy? Hey, you guys! He's copying fucking shit. But yeah, I don't understand that. I guess it makes kind of sense that he's what is this one set like? Hundreds of years before we see the other one. So maybe their technology, advances. But once you get to the point of traversing across the galaxy, I feel like your tech is kind of set in stone at that point. You're not,
Yeah.
ain't much. The ceiling ain't much higher. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, I didn't I thought the look of the Predator was fine. I wasn't like, hell yeah, that's better than the original. I mean, the original is pretty iconic. Just the design of it, the way the mouth opens and everything, it's pretty fucking
Yeah.
dope. But my only gripe was the helmet that he wears is so just kind of plain. I would have loved some like features to it. Like the original mask has like I think eyes and like there's like features on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That would have been kind of cool to see some sort of features on it, but just kind of this this
It
plain.
has like a weird, like single eye type thing in the middle, right? Almost like you haven't played Metal Gear Solid, but it almost looks like a gray fox, the ninja with the
Oh
cyborg
yeah, I
eye.
think I know what you're talking about.
I don't think it's an eye on the helmet. I just think it's I don't know, just a circle type thing or an
Right.
indent. It might even be, and when he takes it off, I don't know that it doesn't look bad. I just wasn't a huge fan of how they try to make him look so like you could make him look more similar to the original. It's okay.
Mhm.
We're not gonna go crazy. But yeah, even the way the mouth opens seemed kind of strange to me. Like it was a little different. I think I don't know
Yeah.
how, but it just looked a little different to me. Like it's going. That's what this motherfucker's going. Like, I don't know. He's just got a big mouth for his species.
Hell of a
or what?
jawline, that Predator.
But yeah. So that's that. I didn't hate the alien design, but I thought it could have been better, and it's okay because you don't see him that much.
Yeah, yeah. He typically has that helmet on for most of the movie.
And he's typically fucking invisible.
Yeah.
I wonder if they ever get Peter Weller, but Peter McCullum, I think, the guy that did the original voice of Predator, and he does Optimus Prime.
Right, right.
I wonder if they ever get him back to do these anymore. If he only did the first one, he came up with that iconic. It's awesome. You got to watch the video. He's at a Comic-Con, and he's talking about getting the job, and he's like, "Yeah, can you come up with like an alien sound or voice for this creature?" And he's like, "I need to know something about. I need to see video or a picture of it." And they're like, "No, we can't do that. This is under wraps. So just come up with something, and we'll talk to you Monday." He's like, "No, I can't. Sorry. Then it's not for me." And then finally, they show him a picture, and he's like talking about how impressive he thought the picture was. And he's like, "It seems to me like a lobster, or some kind of aquatic, almost alien." And he starts doing this. What if it had this breathing? It was, and he starts doing the fucking Predator thing, and then everyone erupts. And I was like, "That's pretty cool, man. This guy just came up with this shit. Just looking at it, that's an iconic purr, dude." And they do it throughout this whole fucking movie, dude. It's like they'll do the, and you'll be like, "Oh shit, he's gonna show up," and he doesn't. It's like, dude, what are we hearing then? Oh, that was a kookaburra. Okay.
Yeah.
No,
it's like they're always in the forest and you like hear echo through the forest and then you look and there's just nothing there.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's kind of ominous though, because we know what it is, but they don't. So it's kind of effective. But yeah, it is like, was it him? Was it?
Yeah. So we get to the brunt of the movie by one of their friends is taken by a lion. And for a while I was like, a lion in North America? What the fuck are they talking about, bro? It's like, this is dumb. We're gonna have a big maned lion in here. This is getting a little fantasy. And then I realized they're talking about like a mountain lion. So I
Yeah,
was like,
yeah.
okay, that's okay then. But
Didn't know any better.
Frank,
It's 1790.
yeah. But yeah, at the same time, I was like, yeah, I guess they wouldn't know, but how would they know to call it a lion?
Yeah,
If they
yeah.
didn't, you know what I mean?
True.
Some guy from that's a fucking lion, my friend. I gotta get back to Africa, my friend. You guys have fun over here. But so yeah, they form this party, and she kind of tags along, and of course, all the guys hate her, other than her brother. Her brother's very protective and wants her to be able to like hunt and stuff, but kind of keeps it on the down low. Like, well, she could help do this, just that he really wants her to be able to
Yeah.
be a part of it. And all the other guys are always talking shit. But you're a woman. Someone's like a dubbed over Chinese movie or something. She should be at home with the bread. It's like that main guy is always talking shit.
Yeah.
Hilarious. Get out of here. But and then the brothers, but she knows medicines. What if one of us gets hurt, eh? That's a good point.
Oh, God. So good.
So she knows medicines. She like takes 2 leaves and pushes them on your wound. Here. Oh, thank God. Thank God you were here. She's always like healing people. Like when they finally find the lion attacker's got just huge fucking wounds across his chest, bleeding. She's got like 4 leaves. She puts on it. You saved his life.
Oh yeah, she's got like a little pouch of these orange flowers that she picked earlier on in the movie. Like I have no idea what those are, but
and then we get that's a callback later. Because remember, he's like, oh, he's cold. He has to be cold. The flowers lower his blood temperature so he doesn't bleed out. Do you want him to be comfortable? Do you want him to be fucking dead?
I'm trying to save his fucking life here.
Listen, pal.
I know medicines.
I'm a fucking medicine person. Not a doctor. That's pretty much saying you're a doctor.
Yeah.
She's a medicine person, man. She went to over 4 hours of pedal school. So yeah, that kind of foreshadows that we're gonna be lowering body temperatures here. Okay, figured it out. So that stuff's pretty good, and it's funny. It's like I imagine, like back then, if you got your life saved and someone put a leaf on your wound, that was just that was had nothing to do. The two weren't related. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Damn, she's a good doctor.
Oh God.
So yeah, they find him, and she starts to put things together real fucking quick for some reason. She's like, well, why would a lion leave behind its prey unless it was scared by something larger? And everyone else, of course, what do you mean? Come on.
Oh God, these tracks are a bear's tracks.
It's probably a bear. But no, I saw a skinned snake. You're right. No human would skin a snake like this. Yeah, she sees the huge track. And starts to think something's 50. And then I think the next thing is, she finds the skinned snake. We see the predator starting with like small prey. It's like this is
it's kind of fun to watch that. Yeah,
this is supposed to be their first time on the planet, right? And it's like the CG of the animals wasn't great.
No,
I mean, it leaves a little something to be desired, but fuck, it's a HULU movie, you know. And it shows a mouse or something, then this viper thing, rattlesnake. It's rattling, but it's like it's red and stuff. With kind of it's like they mix like that one steak that's like red touches yellow and a rattlesnake, and then it bites the thing, and you can see then you see it through the shimmer, the fucking predator shit, the predator shimmer, and you're like, oh shit, the predator's watching it, and then the snake, he's fucking on to him. He like sees him. Hey, motherfucker! I fucking sex. I have heat sensors too. Doing the tongue thing. Predator's like, oh shit, he's got me. And so he like lunges at the predator. Then you see the little shanks go. Fucking Wolverine his ass to his head, and then he does the iconic, always skin the motherfucker and rip his skull out, and then he puts his little puts his little snake skull. Was it the snake skull?
He
Oh, he
does
did
the
take its head.
wolf. He did take a he
Yeah.
did take it to a wolf down.
So we assume we take his head because when she finds the skin snake, he's headless.
Yeah.
But it doesn't specifically show him taking the head, but it does for the wolf
Mm-hmm.
when he kicks that wolf's ass.
I
But
didn't like
the
that.
wolf does.
Like, oh, poor dog. I like
Yeah,
dogs. That was kind of rough,
but
but it was a cool
he
scene.
did kind of. The wolf did get him a little bit, like bit him on the leg real good, and then
Yeah,
he shows the wolf with like the lime green blood in its mouth. That was pretty
that was
cool.
pretty. Yeah, that was pretty sweet.
And then he finally kills it and like has this special spray, clean the skull. And then he puts the skull on ornament. They love their skulls. So that was pretty cool.
He's like Dolph
But it was
Lundgren
kinda
and
interesting.
Universal Soldier.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting to see him have his interaction with like his first scary thing.
Yeah,
Just a little snake, and he's like, "Oh, okay, me and you are the same. One of us must die." What? Oh, okay. Dan DeLiergo as the Predator. This individual was shown to wield primitive versions of the advanced weaponry used by predators in previous films. So, wow. The film began development during the production of the prior Predator film titled The Predator, 2018. That's interesting
huh.
that they would start this during the production of the other one when this is very much not like that.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like the Predator is this new school alien versus Predator type bullshit.
yeah.
That's weird.
Awful.
You know what? Let's do an opposite one too. See which one sticks.
Well, this one just even like looking at them side by side, even on paper, as like someone, if I was a producer, I was like, oh, you got this one that's like takes place in modern day. It's kind of stupid, and this one, it's like, oh, you know, the indigenous were known to be these great hunters. Why not pit them against a predator? Like, I don't know. I thought it's a cool idea on paper, and they did a pretty good job.
So, yeah, that's just strange, and especially because the Predator came out in theaters, didn't it?
Yeah.
And so they would deem that one theater worthy, but not this.
Mm-hmm.
Is strange to me. Then the film was secretly going by the name of Skulls. Get it? He takes skulls. So originally going to follow a Comanche woman who goes against gender norms, so that's all still in there. And traditions to become a warrior, that's still in there. Directed by Taktberg. Who was this directed by? This is directed by the 10 Cloverfield Lane guy, right?
Yes.
I don't know his name. What else? He did something else too?
I think that's it. I think that's his only movie is 10 Cloverfield Lane. I think. I have IMDb up. I can look.
That's the one where the guy kidnaps the girl.
Yeah, it all takes place in like a bunker.
And then somehow it's connected to Cloverfield.
Mm-hmm.
I never watched that one. People tell me it's pretty good.
It's pretty good, yeah.
I did watch the Cloverfield Paradox. That was kind of good. It was just interesting. I love an interesting sci-fi story, you know, just kind of different.
Yeah.
I liked that one. Yeah. So on with the movie. But so she starts putting this stuff together. And then I think her first vision of the Predator is she sees a bear, right? Oh, this dog, this damn dog. Yeah. I like the dog.
Oh yeah, the dog's awesome. Yeah.
And from the beginning, I was like, God damn it,
that dog's gonna die, and it's gonna break my heart. Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be something. The dog's gonna help with the Predator.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but the dog lives, you guys. It's the craziest shit. the only fucking movie where the dog lives.
It helps and it lives.
Yeah, nuts. So, yeah, she sees a bear. And the dog sees the bear, and the bear's eating something or other. And she's such a she seems so good at hunting when she's practicing, and then every time she gets the opportunity, you're just like yelling at the screen. Yeah, you dumb motherfucker, come on! It was right there. Shoot him! Got the arrow ready and just doesn't pull it. And then bear smells her and starts running up, and dog starts barking.
Still takes that's right. Because there's that scene. I actually like this scene because I felt like, I mean, obviously it comes back later, but there's this like scene that holds on this moment where she kind of gets stuck in the swamp, and she can't get out. And so she starts throwing her axe at
Mm.
this all bunch of like stacked pieces of wood to like use it as leverage to pull herself out.
Yeah, she created some rope on her
Yeah.
axe because it took her too long to throw it and go get it, so she could
Hmm.
do like Thor type of shit,
Yeah,
or
retrieve it
or
back.
like God of War. And it just
It's pretty sweet.
flies back into her hand.
It's a little ridiculous that it happens, like she catches it perfectly every time, but it's still pretty
Yeah,
a cool visual. But the
yeah,
whole time I'm like, oh shit, she's going like he's gonna step in front of it and it's gonna hit him or something. Like there's gonna be a reveal like he's standing there and she's gonna hit him on accident. But it never happens. But like that whole scene, I'm like, oh shit, she's gonna fucking, and then she's kind of pull. It kind of just ends that way. I'm like, what the hell was the point of that? And then yeah, but then that leads into the bear thing where because of her string is all fucked up from the swamp, not cleaned or whatever it is, it snaps when she tries to shoot the bear. She says, oh shit.
yeah, yeah. And I don't think your axe is gonna do much against a bear, dude.
No.
Your little baby axe. Your baby axe. Get out of here.
Your daddy's fucking bread cutting axe ain't gonna do shit.
Quit trying to kill me and kill me.
Uh,
The bear. The bear had all the best lines. Yeah. And then the dog runs away unless he's trying to get the bear. And then you don't see the dog for a while. That kind of sucks. It's like, oh damn, the dog's gone because she had to like, what did she do? She had to bail. She had to like go down the river, right? That's that part. She starts swimming with the current,
Yeah.
to kind of get some speed against the bear. And all these rivers are very shallow. You'll notice they're always like a couple feet. And you're just barely in them. Oh. And then we get later she discovers some skinned buffalo.
Oh yeah.
That's a disturbing kind of picture. You get the
Yeah.
dead white eyeball, and it's just big, like 20 or 30 of them skinned. And you kind of think it's a predator, but then you're like, no, predator doesn't do that. Predator is like, he kills one and he uses parts of it, and he's like very sacred about it. He wouldn't just waste 20 buffalo. What's going
Mhm.
on here? And then I started to think, is this like the alien ship did something, right? Alien encounters, or our cow's been, uh, disfigured or whatever. I was starting to think some of that. I was like, how does this play in? And then she does
Yeah.
something. She like prays for it and puts a flower on it or something.
Like,
Don't go.
Yeah, that's where I give this movie a little bit of credit because that's not the only thing that's weird that we as an audience don't really know what the fuck's going on because there's these traps that are laid out randomly in the woods, and you're like, what the fuck is that? Because it's obviously not theirs, and so you see it and you kind of just like, okay, that's kind of weird, and then you see the buffalo thing and she holds up, a cigar. In my mind, I'm like, is that a cigar?
Oh, I didn't know what that. I didn't know what that was.
And I was like, it looked like a cigar, but I was like, I'm not really sure. But and then it's all revealed.
I just thought it was yeah, I just thought it was a stick or something. I was like, what is that? That's not a piece of evidence. Put it down.
But it's just kind of cool how it's all revealed of like she gets trapped and all of a sudden you see the settlers and then you see the big fat guy with the big chomping on a cigar. You're like, oh
yeah,
and all the pieces start to fit in. So that was
because as far as we know, there's no white men.
Yeah, for sure
out there yet. So that's why I was like, yeah, why is this trap here? That's ooh.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna deal with some bad white men in this movie. Watch
the French.
Okay, and then but yeah, that's our first dose of the predator, and that's a pretty sick scene when the predator takes on that bear by hand.
Yeah, it was awesome.
And it's just like just wailing on him, fucking him up. He gets bit a couple times. It's like, how is this predator staying alive? He's getting bit by a lot of shit. But then it does show him he has this, super healing thing, closing wounds and shit. But yeah, when he picks it up and like guts it, so all of its blood just pours over, so you can see it past its cloak. That was pretty sweet. And yeah, that was a pretty cool scene. And then, like I said, we move on, and now she knows something's up. She's got to try and find him. She gets captured by the tribe again. Ah, it's you!
Oh god!
And then they have this girl-boy fight, which is a little disturbing. They're just, beating the shit out of her. I'm like, oh man. Yeah. Okay, but she's kicking some ass too. So, and they tie her up, and they're gonna take her back to the village. but then they get slaughtered by the predator. Um,
That was a cool scene. I like that fight scene a lot.
yeah, there was some cool stuff, but like one of those guys who like stood up to the predator, like the last guy. Like he lasted a little too long for me. Like this, I just saw this predator fight a bear and whoop its ass, and you're this little scrawny. He's just like he's doing really well. I was like, damn, that's a little too much. Come on, man. Yeah, but he dies, and there's some cool stuff they show. Like I think the predator is using as like what was that movie? Stargate, like Stargate shield.
Oh yeah,
and like pops out, and we get to see him start to use his arrow thing and that triangle. That was pretty cool. The first time the guy sees it, they don't know what a laser is. They're seeing the lights on him. It's like, oh, cool. Check this out. This is new. Yeah, then it's like, and it's apparent. He has the like gravity arrows, and they go to wherever those 3 dots are on the triangle. So it's kind of like a primitive version of the Predator, because the Predator had the triangle thing, but it would shoot out to like a laser or some shit. Now it's just like arrows, but it's still technological because it's like you could tell they're like magnetized, or it's just some kind of weird propulsion thing going on there.
Yeah, because it'll fucking blow your arm off. These arrows or something. Yeah.
Yeah. And so there's some kind of cool shots because no matter where he shoots it, like he could shoot you in front of him, but then if the triangle is set on something else, he'll go to it afterwards. End up where it needs to be. So that was some pretty cool stuff. And then she eventually gets captured by the French dudes after that, and that's where her dog is. Get the dog back now. And they're gonna like kill the dog. We gotta go kill the dog. Okay.
Oh yeah, at the end, yeah.
And she also meets back up with her brother somehow, like they had him. And so then finally get the brother and her in like the epic final fight of the Predator. And she sets up a couple traps a la Arnold, and she somehow figures out that he sees heat. I don't understand how the fuck she figured that out. She was like behind a tree. Oh my god, he can't see me. Yeah, no shit.
Yeah.
You're behind a tree. How does that explain to you that it's heat vision? You know what I mean? It's like you're oh shit. Because there was that part earlier where they were hiding in the grass and with one of the Indian guys, and he's like, well, now we have to jump on it because they think they're hidden. And she's like, well, and she sees the dots on him. It's like, no, he has to jump on us. Yeah. So she's starting to realize how he may see. Like this chick is just making outlandish hypotheses based on having the most rudimentary understanding of science and just getting it right every time.
Yeah, you have to show some sort of evidence of a scene where she kind of finds or has suspicions that that's how he sees. Because at least there is one thing she gets right where like because they're being used as bait, being tied to a tree, right? And she's don't worry about us. Like it doesn't care about bait. It wants to hunt, right? And she knows that because we have actually seen her see that in the movie. So that line made sense to me. But yeah, the heat thing is like, you're just saying that for us. Like, there's no. It's kind of like in reminds me of a Nope when Danny Clue was like, oh, don't look at it in the eye. And it's like, well, how do you even know that? You're just saying that because that you just want to get that information out. It doesn't really make a whole lot of sense.
Yeah, that looks more like its butthole than its eye. Yeah, and she was saying like it won't hurt you if you're not a threat, and that goes back to other predators.
Yeah.
But I thought I remembered from the Predator lore that it wouldn't kill women. Maybe it was just pregnant women that I'm thinking about. Because I know for a fact it wouldn't kill pregnant women. That's been covered. I don't know if it's number 2 or number 1. But it would not kill pregnant women. And I kind of thought that carried across to women, period. So I thought, oh, okay, that's why it walked up on her and didn't do anything because she's a woman. And I was like, okay, so now she has like this advantage because it won't like want to kill her, and she's a badass, and so she'll be able to take it down. But
Yeah, I don't
I don't think.
remember that. I know. I mean, maybe for like a different species of predators. Obviously, we've seen different kind of factions of predators. But I do know in the first one, Arnold takes a prisoner woman with them, and Arnold's the only one who survives at the end. So I don't remember what happens to her, but I'm assuming that the predator kills her. But yeah, I don't
I
remember.
know. I know. In number two, there's a pregnant woman, and
Hmm.
he like, and it kind of like sees her belly, and it doesn't do anything.
He's like,
You know what I
nope,
mean?
too much for me.
Yeah. So
I'm not
I
an
couldn't
animal.
remember. Yeah, I couldn't remember if it was women or like in general or only pregnant women.
Just
But
pregnant.
it's
Yeah.
got these rules of who it can and can't kill.
Right.
So
Right.
it's got to be honorable. Um. So yeah, she sets up some traps. All Predator One. There's some throwbacks, and that her brother has the line that was pretty cool from Predator. It's like, if it bleeds, we can kill it.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
That's pretty sweet.
Instead of, that's a good line to choose because all these other ones try to go with the more corny lines, like "Come on, do it!"
Yeah.
Like they could have done that at the end when she was standing there. She could have said that, and I thought she was going to. I was like, yeah, she's gonna do it.
Or
She's
like,
gonna say it.
he's holding an arrow and she's like, "You're bleeding. I ain't got time to bleed." Or like, some one of those corny ones.
Yeah, or like, I'm a sexual tyrannosaurus. What's a tyrannosaurus? I don't know.
Uh,
um, but yeah, so there's that line. That's pretty cool. Yeah, and then the brother faces it, and that's a pretty good. That's a pretty good little battle. That's pretty awesome. He just keeps stabbing it. He's fucking it up, dude.
hmm
He's stabbing it with its own weapon, little arrows and shit. He's bleeding all the green blood everywhere, and he's just a hard ass. And then he gets like its spear and gives it a good stab to the shoulder. And then he's probably gonna kill it. He's going for like a fatal blow, and the predator like collapses its spear because it's his spear that he has. Like the spear goes from being awesome, it's like
hmm
and then the predator like goes invisible, and it wasn't before. I was like, what? Right? And then he just kind of gives up at that point. He's like, well, he went invisible. This is it. And he kind of looks at his sister and is like, you have to finish it. This is as far as I go. This is it. And then he gets stabbed through the
Yeah.
back.
Bring it home, Noro or Nuru.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like, you're doing pretty good, dude. Just keep trying.
Yeah.
Keep
I had a
trying.
problem like every time he went invisible in the second half of this movie. It bothered me because he's like constantly bleeding, and it's like wouldn't you see the blood? Like, yeah, his armor is invisible, cloaked, but you would still see the green, and they didn't do that, so that kind of bothered me.
They do some of it.
Yeah.
I remember like his leg bleeding and stuff when he's invisible. But yeah, they kind of cloak most of it. Well, I don't know. Yeah, I guess. I guess you probably would see it. What's the debate? The fundamentals of it.
Yeah. Of a Predator movie on Hulu.
not invented camo technology. Well, if you really think it was,
they wouldn't be speaking English.
So yeah, she gets him to follow. What did she do? Did she set up some bait for the last fight? I think she did. I'm trouble remembering now.
Yeah, I don't remember how she got him.
Right.
She used I think she used the big fat guy, right? Didn't she like stab him or something? And he's like,
oh yeah,
with the gun. Yeah.
She cut his leg off, right?
Yeah.
One of his feet because he's like crawling and shit. Oh yeah, and she puts the gun there for the fat guy, so then the predator will think he's a threat. He's got a gun. Dead or alive. Freeze, puke. But she like doesn't put any powder in the gun or something like that, so it can't fire. So the predator just thinks it's a threat, but it's not a threat. I'm the threat. I'm the captain now.
Psych.
And she's like hiding and ate the flower, so her temperature is lower. And then the predator falls into the mud and it just sinks. It's gone. I was like, oh, that's a pretty anticlimactic ending. It's too heavy. It's like quicksand, mud stuff. It's like,
Hmm.
oh, can't get out. You're too heavy. I was like, that's kind of lame. What is it? And it's like they never found this predator skeleton later.
Yeah.
um, but but no, it kind of gets out, and how, right? Because it's like obviously it's deep enough for it to go fully submerged, but then it's like rising out of the thing like it's on a fucking platform or something, like an elevator.
Yeah, it,
How
it
are you
reminded me
doing?
of a callback from Schwarzenegger from the original, like him coming out of the
Oh yeah,
mud or
when he's
whatever.
it should have showed what his feet were doing under the mud. They're just like they're just fucking kicking it like a fucking bastard. They're all webbed and shit. They're just
Oh god.
and so then he comes up and she's placed the helmet strategically. This is a little weird.
Yeah.
This is a little spot on. She put the helmet strategically in a tree to point at the predator when he would come out. So now the three dots are pointing at him, like right here, on his head or something, and he doesn't know it. And then she's right in front of him, a la Arnold when he's in the like little thing. So I'm thinking she's gonna be like, "Come on, do it." I think she does say "do it,"
I don't
right? I'm pretty
remember.
sure she says because like I'm pretty sure she says "do it," and then he's like puts up the thing that yes, do it, kill me, do it, and then he shoots it and goes towards her, but then it just blasts his head open. That was pretty cool.
That was pretty sweet.
I
A little
can't remember any
convenient,
time.
but
Yeah, I can't
it
remember any
works.
time we got a good headshot on the predator in a movie.
Hmm.
I don't remember that, but that was pretty good, and that's how it ends. And then she walks back to the village with the head, and like all the men are like gone. There's like no men left in the village because they all got killed in these things. And so she's like except like the main chieftain guy, I think, is still there, and hands her the stick that her brother had. So like she's the war chieftain now. And then it ends.
You're the war chief.
It's like a Lion King ending. Okay, but yeah, that's the end. And there was an after credits thing I didn't stick around for, but I
Yes,
read about
yes.
because it just started showing like the movie kind of drawn at
Yeah.
the end. I was like, oh, it's just gonna go through the plot points in some cool little drawings, kind of like they do in Marvel things. I can't remember a couple movies have done that, but I was like, I'm not sticking around with that. I did not think this would have anything like it, but it really doesn't. So I'm kind of glad I didn't waste my time and go all the way through it. But
Yeah.
apparently, did you watch it or
I
did
did.
you read
Yes,
it?
yes, yes. I was like, ooh, a sequel on the arise.
So yeah, it just shows like in the cart in the drawing, right? The ship coming down on the village. Is that right?
Yeah, yeah, it shows yeah, like you were saying, it goes through all the beats of the movie, and so like the last drawing is her standing there with the head and like holding the chieftain stick rod, whatever it is. And then like it kind of stays there, and then all of a sudden like from the clouds a ship kind of comes down, they all look up, and then that's it. Then it goes to the black scrolling credits after that.
Yeah, just do that in real life, right?
Yeah.
Do a scene. That would be cooler. um. Oh yeah, but that's a good point because nothing good will happen to this village. Yeah, it's cool. It could be some kind of sequel, or it could just be that they're Easter egging us like they previously did because the gun that the French guy gives to her when she's, I'll teach you how to use the gun, and it's engraved and stuff. That's the gun that the Predators give to Danny Glover as like a uh, prize for killing the Predator.
Oh, I didn't catch
It's the
that.
same. It's the same exact gun with the same exact engraving. So the Predators have it in the future. So is that just foreshadowing that they come down and decimate this tribe because of what they did to the
Mm,
Predator and
right,
take that
right.
gun? You know what I mean? Or is it implying like there's going to be a sequel? Which I lean more towards the Predator 2 connection because how do you sequel this?
Yeah, I
You
hope
know,
they
you know
don't.
what I
Yeah,
mean? What are you going to do? Send another one, and then you got the same story again.
right, right.
And I don't want to see it, it demeans it a little bit if she kills more than one predator. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
it's over. Like, I think it was just a Predator 2, like another connection,
Connection, yeah. I would
which is
like
pretty
the
cool.
yeah, I like the idea of this being a standalone. I don't know. I mean, yeah, maybe a sequel could be good, but I just don't know if I'd want it. I think this is pretty a neat story, a neat hour and
Yeah.
40 minutes. You don't really need to, go any further than that.
Oh yeah, and a lot of you ever play Assassin's Creed 3, where you're like the Indian
No.
boy?
The only one that I've played is Odyssey.
The fuck? The
Yeah, I'm
fuck?
not those games don't really call to me, but yeah, Odyssey's the only one I played.
Dude, those games are awesome. You climb a fucking building and jump off. Anyways, the third one, you're like a half Indian, half white kid,
Uh-huh.
and you're raised in the Indian village. And a lot of this just reminded me of the whole game, like the slide. It's got a slide mechanic in it. She's always
Yeah.
doing this, like she'll drop for a slide, and it's like doesn't matter the terrain. Good,
Yeah, your knees gotta be fucked up.
like it's like there's marbles on the ground. You just
Yeah.
like, did you grease yourself up before you came out? And then sliding good. So yeah, I liked this movie a lot. I thought it was great. It's pretty cool. I thought it was a good Predator movie. I think this is easily probably the second best Predator movie out of all of them. This could easily be um, second place after original. Number two is kind of cheesy, but it also has a place in my heart.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's kind of up there with this. But the rest of them, yeah, they're fucking garbage. So, I mean, it's not saying a lot to be better than all those, but I do think it is. And it's super interesting to just have another, set a period piece is really cool. So I really enjoyed it. I think it's fun the whole way through. I think it's pretty beautifully shot, other than some questionable CG. But I can forgive that. And it keeps a lot of the heart of what the first Predator is, just a hunt, and that's it. And doesn't try to throw a bunch of story on top of it or tell you who the predators are and all this other crap they start getting into. So I liked it a lot. I was very pleasantly surprised when you picked this. I was like, oh, fucking Predator prequel, Jesus. And it's Hulu only. It'll be good. Not gonna be good. So pleasantly surprised. I think this is a 7.5 for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm kind of right there with you. This movie felt like it had a lot of cards stacked against it. It's like the Hulu thing. There's no theatrical release. It's a Predator movie. This franchise has been.
I think this probably could have done well in the theaters.
Could have done well in the theaters. I think some good word of mouth. They probably would have got some butts in that in
Yeah.
the theater. But no, yeah, I was interested in just the plot. I thought just the idea of the plot sounded interesting to me. But then the more I thought about it, I'm like, oh, 10 Cloverfield Lane was good, but like, does Dan Trachtenberg? Because there's always times where like, first time directors make a pretty decent first movie, and then they're given a property for the second movie, and they just kind of shit the bed. So I was kind of leaning. I was like, it's a Hulu thing. He's
like
probably
the Wachowski brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to do Speed Racer?
Yeah, pretty rough.
Oh.
But no, I was pleasantly surprised. I had a lot of fun with this one. It is the second best for sure. I would say that with confidence. Predator 2 is pretty good, but I think this one is. I think this one's better. And yeah, the rest of them, like you said, are fucking bad. But nothing. Yeah. I mean, the first one's so iconic. I don't know if you're ever going to be able. Any Predator's going to top Schwarzenegger and Jesse Ventura and all those guys.
But number two has Busey, doesn't it?
Yeah. I guess number 2 and Bill Paxton.
Yeah, this thing's a predator. It'll eviscerate your guts and take your brains and put them outside of your skull. It would take your skull and put it outside of your face and put it on its shoulder. It's like Gary Busey elevates everything.
I forgot about Gary Busey. But yeah, I really like this movie. I think some of the set pieces are fun. I think the standout for me was when they're being used as bait and the Predator shows up and kind of wreaks havoc on all the settlers. I thought that whole sequence was, you get to see all the gadgets that he has. He's using them, and he's also getting beat up. It's a pretty good fight. And yeah, I say this. I did like the movie. I think it's a good movie. I think it's the second best Predator movie. But at the same time, it's kind of I feel weird about it because it's also kind of forgettable. I don't I don't really know how I feel because I was telling Sarah about this. I'm like, that was a good movie, but then like I don't know if I'm like dying to rewatch it anytime soon. Like I'm not on this high like, oh, I need to like rewatch this now. It's just like maybe I'll watch it, but it's just like, I don't know. It's a very good movie, but almost like a one hit wonder. Like once was enough. I don't really know how to explain it other than that. I'm not trying to be disparaging against the movie. Again, I like the movie, but there's just something weird about it. Maybe it's because I watched it at home. Or I don't.
Sometimes it's hard to separate a good movie versus a rewatchable movie.
Right.
Sometimes, because most of the time, I think that's why we have a hard time. Most of the time, good movies are highly rewatchable, right?
Right, sure.
But you can be one and not the other.
Mm-hmm.
Which is weird. It's hard to like. How could it be good, but you don't want to watch it again? Oh,
right.
It can, because I don't have any immediate need to watch this anytime soon, like you said. But it's still a good movie.
Yeah, exactly. I had a good time with it, but it was just kind of like I kind of forgot about it the next day. In a sense, it wasn't in my psyche. When you see a good movie, you wake up the next day and you kind of think it's still marinating on it. But this one was just
someone say, "How was Prey?" Prey. Immediately forgot.
Oh yeah. What the hell was that?
Yeah, I talked to the Lord this morning. It was fine. Why?
That's why we pray. So yeah, I'm right there with you. I think I was coming in at an 8. I guess I'm a little higher than you, which is kind of weird because I just said what I said. No, but I think it's a solid 8. I think it has a really good protagonist. I think it does that cliche thing of like, oh, I think I could be really good at something, but I'm being undermined the whole time. Like, I think that's kind of a tired trope, but it's also a trope for a reason because it's relatable. So I thought that all that stuff was really well done. You kind of care for her and you want her to succeed, even though she's kind of terrible at it. But at the end, she grows and does, eventually get the one big kill. Yeah, all the acting is great. The action scenes are fun. There is questionable CGI. The bear, the mountain lion in particular was pretty rough.
Yeah.
But no, this movie had no reason to be as good as it is for being a fucking Hulu Predator movie in 2022. So I tip my hat to everyone involved. It was a pretty good movie.
Yeah, and I was at a 7.5. I never have a score in mind, really. I kind of have a range before I come into these, and then we talk, and then it kind of solidifies itself. But I think I'm changing mine. 7.9. That's what I feel now.
Yeah.
7.9 I think is more fair. You give it an 8, I'll just go a hair under. So 7.9 and an 8. Go check it out. It's pretty cool. I mean, definitely worth a watch if you've got Hulu and all that stuff. Or if you're out there international, it's on Disney Plus. So yeah, check it out. 7.9 and an 8. Very surprisingly good movie.
Yeah, not that I would. I don't know if I would buy this. Maybe if it was like on sale. But the thing that kind of bothers me is some of these.
Is it even for sale?
That's kind of what I'm getting at. Is like sometimes this stuff kind of bothers me when these streaming services do their own movie because like sometimes they do a good job and I'm like, oh, I would like to own that either digitally or physically, and like you just can't, and so you just have to subscribe to their channel. There's a lot of Amazon movies that I really enjoy, but it's like they're just stranded on Amazon. Like I can't buy them physically, I can't buy them digitally. So I kind of hate when it seems like Prey is one of those movies. Again, not that I would buy it, but if I did, like I wouldn't even have the option to. So that's kind of a bummer when they do that.
Yeah, that's why it was really cool to me when they released the Snyder Cut on 4K.
Yeah, for sure, definitely.
Because it's like, am I gonna want to watch that 4-hour motherfucker a lot? But no. But to have it physically, something like that is pretty cool.
Definitely.
All right, yeah, check it out. And as always, please take a listen on Apple Music and Spotify. And we're always here on YouTube every Sunday as well. We appreciate you watching. Please give us your input and let us know in the comments. Chat us up. Tell us your thoughts on the movies, what movies you might want to see reviewed or things reviewed. We've been doing movies pretty consistently, but we'll do anything. I reviewed a gummy snake. So if there's something worth reviewing, we'll review it.
Yeah, it's kind of funny how I guess we've only been doing this 2 years now, but it's kind of funny at the end of the year we do a video game one because we barely do video games, but at the end of the year we somehow do a top 5 video games of the year. It's kind of funny.
Yeah. All right, y'all. Thanks for joining us. We appreciate it. Until next time, until next V's, we say peace.
Peace.